Okay, I'd like to call to order our Tuesday, August 4th Commissioners meeting. And so if you look at the agenda, we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Lord, we come today to honor you and to remind ourselves of your pivotal place in our lives. We ask for your blessings and goals on this meeting. We ask that your wisdom guides us as we seek to accomplish the goals of today's agenda. Thank you for the opportunities you give us to serve you and to serve our community. May our actions and our attitudes please you today. We pray these things in your mighty name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, have a seat here. All righty. And we will head down here, and the first line of item on the agenda is the first order of business, opening and reading of bids, but we don't have any. So we'll move on to B, which is reports and requests from, first, the commissioners, which is the accounts payable docket. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the accounts payable docket as outlined.
All right, I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Good. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. And the second will be Water Resource Advisory Board appointments. And I didn't know, can we do both at the same time, or do we have to do them individually?
Well,
Yeah, it's your decision. You can do them both at the same time if you have a slate. So.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask, if there's any nominations. And but we could nominate them both at the same time. Is that okay? Or not, individually?
Well, you just ask for nominations, and
Okay.
see how many nominations you have.
Okay. All righty. So I'm going to ask, my first thing is there any nominations then to place on the Water Resource Advisory Board appointments?
Sure. Before I comment on that, is there anybody from the health department here now?
Oh, good.
Could you come to the board, please? State your name and address for the record.
And make any comments you have, please, then.
This is Brett Davis, the Assistant Director of Environmental Health for the Department of Health on 8th and 9th floors of this building.
Thank you, Brett. I'm sorry to bother you and hit you with this. We have a letter from Dr. Inez, very great doctor. We're very lucky to have him as our health officer. He mentions the appointments to the board. He mentions a Skip Davidson and the Sarah Longnecker, but he doesn't actually say he recommends them. Is it to your understanding that he does recommend?
It's my understanding that he does recommend them for nomination.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I did talk to them and emailed them, and they're very excited about moving forward because they are reopening this, the Water Resource Advisory Board. So.
But he never actually in this letter stated that he recommended them. So I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you. And let him know that I mentioned that so he might be more clear in a future request.
Can do.
Thank you, Brett.
Thank you.
Madam Commissioner, I'd like to nominate both Skip Davidson of the North Liberty Utilities and Sarah Longnecker of the Citrus County Soil and Water Conservation District as members to new appointees to the Water Resource Advisory Board of St. Joseph County.
Okay. I will second those nominations. All right. Do we have any more nominations? All right. If not, then I have a motion to vote on those nominations.
We'll close nominations.
Oh, close the nominations? Okay, we'll close those. And then we'll vote to approve these nominations, or to have
I make a
nominated.
motion to approve the two people nominated, Skip Davidson and Sarah Longnecker, respectfully.
Good. I second that. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. We're getting that moving forward. All right, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Okay, now the next thing on our agenda is with the Health Department.
Yes.
Okay, it says request approval to apply for a public health emergency preparedness grant. So
Yes,
does anybody make any
This is
comments?
Amy Rupi from the Department of Health, Finance Manager, offices on the 8th and 9th floor of the County City Building.
Okay,
We are requesting support in applying for a public health emergency preparedness grant from the State Department of Health in the amount of $27,679, which does go through June 30th of 2021.
great. All right, is there a motion?
Well, just comments.
Comments?
Amy, thank you for bringing this forward and keeping track of grants. Obviously, that helps subsidize local taxpayers' dollars. I see from the report, there is no required match, and there are no capital outlays for us. That's correct?
That is correct. We are going to use the funds to purchase PPE.
Cool.
Very
Thank you
good.
very much.
Yes, that's right. Thank you very much.
Therefore, I make a motion to accept the recommendation of the doctor, the health officer, Dr. Inez, and of course Amy, who just spoke, and Brett, who was here as backup,
Yeah, I was
to
wondering if you
accept the
could.
request to apply for the grant as outlined.
Right, and I will second that. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it, so we've approved the preparedness for this grant. Very good. All righty, moving on, going to the human resources. Oh, here she comes. Yay.
Good morning, Kim Carquith, Human Resource Director, St. Joseph County, offices at 227 Jefferson, 7th floor of this building. I have 3 renewals that we are looking at today for our county. First one is for JWF Specialty, who is our third-party administrator for our liability and workers' compensation. This is a renewal that will start back in September 1st of this year through the 21st. It is an annual flat fee that we actually work out a contract with them and have had them as our TPA for the last 5 years. I do have our broker on Zoom also, in case there is any questions on any of these renewals.
Okay, well, are there any questions then?
Okay, well, are we gonna, I have no objection to voting on all 3 matters at once.
That's what I was
So right now,
wondering
we're just-
Do you want to do all 3?
That's what I was just gonna wonder too. I was
Okay.
just gonna move
So
forward.
that was for the first one, the JWS Specialty. The second one is for Midwest Employers Casualty for the excess of workers' compensation coverage. This coverage, because we are self-funded, would help us like it does in our health insurance, is if we have a large claim, we have a cap out so that we could actually go and claim that under an insurance claim. That's for the Midwest employers. The last one is the crime policy renewal, and this is the insurance contract that provides coverage against loss or damage to money, securities, properties resulting in theft, robbery, in-premise, off-premise, and also includes for the counterfeiting and also computer fraud. And this is also something that was renewed. It would be effective August the 1st through August the 21st.
Okay. So is it okay if we go ahead and just approve all 3 of them at the same time?
Yeah, I have no objection to that. Just some quick comment. Thank you, Kim, for working on these renewals. R&R, you're on the phone?
Yes, I am. This is Bob Frick.
Thank you. Thank you and your firm for the great work you do. I know these are renewals, and I'm sure you had the legal department already checked them out. That's correct?
Well, the agreements persist. The only thing that we changed in regards to the agreements was the amount of the fee.
Okay.
Based on activity, the fee for example, JWF, I believe was previously $65,000 a year, and now we're at $85,000 a year. We did go out and get proposals to make sure that was in line with the marketplace, and JWF continues to be the best priced, and I think Kim and the HR department would also agree that they've done a good job from a service perspective.
Thank you. Yes, I do hear good things from Kim, and certainly you and your firm have done a great job for the county, making us the premier and leader in employee health insurance costs for governments. So thank you for that. Counselor, you're comfortable with these contracts?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. With that being said, I make a motion to approve all 3 contracts as outlined.
All right, I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Very good. Thank you very much for everything that you do.
Thank you.
I was going to ask those questions and you did it. Good. Okay. All righty, moving on. Infrastructure planning and growth. There is the consent agenda, which is here is a description of the subdivision improvements, performance bond, stipulation 25,280 to 30,000, Pleasant Valley North, Section 4. And then special events request, second annual John Seidler Memorial Kids Triathlon on August 15th in Granger, March to Memorial September 11th, Memorial March in South Bend. And then traffic regulatory request, description, temporary installation of no truck signs along the following roadways. Kern Road from State Road 23 to Mayflower Road, Peach Road from State Road 23 to Crumbstown Highway, Peach Trail from State Road 23 to Peach Road, and Klein Trail from Crumbstown Highway to State Road 23. All right, is there a motion to approve this consent agenda?
Well, first, I'd like to state that Madam Engineer Jessica Clark sent an email that we please remove
What now?
the temporary no truck restrictions
Oh, yeah.
from the
That's
consent
right.
agenda.
Right.
So if there's going to be a
That just
motion
happened,
to approve the
yeah.
consent agenda, it has to be an amended consent agenda withdrawing these no truck sign issues. But
Been delayed.
I would first comment that I'm glad it's being withheld at this time, because there's a serious problem with the NIPSCO gas line being laid on State Road 23, just west of Mayflower Road. We have 5 large trucking companies there, primarily that work seasonally, shipping sand, gravel, rocks, and asphalt to fix our roads when it's construction season. And this limits their ability to go, by closing State Road 23 there, it limits their ability to travel east and or north. Normally, they would just jump on the bypass right there at either Mayflower and the bypass or 23 and the bypass. But with them being cut off there, it really restricts their ability to flow. And NDOT, apparently per the records, came out, and I saw it on the map on Channel 16, and I don't know if anybody else noticed, on what a ridiculous map it was. It wants those firms that are practically at 23 and Mayflower to drive all the way south on State Road 23 to North Liberty, State Road 4, take State Road 4 all the way east to Lakeville, US 31, and then come up US 31 to get to the bypass. That adds so much miles, fuel, labor. It could cost any of those trucking firms hundreds of thousands of dollars to millions of dollars this summer and bankrupt them. And at a time when we have so many people unemployed, and we're fortunate to have some businesses working and employing people, we've got to do a better job of making sure these businesses have a much better truck route. Now, I do know that Ms. Clark is working behind the scenes, that maybe we'll open up Crumbstown Highway,
Right,
but that is a county road, and our county road will take that beating.
that's what
But I think for the good of these people, these companies, solve it, we should do that. But I also I'm not sure that that's good enough, because that means they still got to take State Road 23 all the way southwest to Crumbstown Highway, and then take Crumbstown Highway all the way back to Mayflower Road. That I hope that there's going to be some leniency by the Board of Commissioners, not to allow all truck traffic, but in the future, allow at least these 5 firms the ability to take the shortcut of Orange Road to Kern to Oak.
well, we'll have to do what we have to do, because
Yeah.
NIPSCO's gonna have to fix the stuff up there. That's
Yeah,
the issue.
but-
It's not us, it's the
And
NIPSCO issue.
whether we let just these 5 firms go back and forth, where they need to go north and east, or maybe they're only allowed to use the shortcut when they are returning with their trucks empty, so there's not such a weight issue from the weight of their sand, gravel, and asphalt. But when this comes up in the next week or so, I hope there's a great consideration to help protect these companies, work and employ their firms while protecting our roads and doing their work to protect our roads and the other roads of other governments around us. I think we have a real good responsibility there. And then furthermore, that there be probably a temporary 4-way stop put at Oak and Kern Road.
Right,
With or without truck traffic, there's gonna be an awful lot of car traffic there.
right.
So with that being said, any other comments or
Temporarily.
questions?
Hopefully be temporarily. No comments.
Okay, I make a
But we have to
motion
just,
approve the amended consent agenda, which
Right.
removes the no truck
Traffic.
issue at this time.
description, right, remove that. Okay. I second that motion. All those in favor for the consent agenda that's been approved? Yeah? Motion to approve it, second? Okay, good. Got that
Yes.
taken care of. Good.
Well, we had a motion, now you have a vote, right? Or-
Yeah, you said vote. All those in favor say aye. I said aye.
Aye.
Yeah, aye. All those approve? All those, okay, good. Moving on to the proposal award contract approval leaf, which we don't have, so we need to go ahead and table that.
Well, we could table it or just ignore it. I think the LEAF program, is obviously, continues to be a large waste of money. You know, we're the Board of Commissioners who are supposed to be, who are state statute, have the honor and responsibility of negotiating and working on a LEAF contract with any vendor, and we've had 0 meetings on this matter. And I understand there was a presentation made to the council, and it was reported in the media, I read the Southland Tribune, $349,000 is what the projected cost is, and I see that in front of me in an email that I've received potentially. However, I'm gonna have to question that. Are we still supplying, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars on the back end for free fuel and tipping fees to get rid of the leaves? Because if there's another $200,000 or $300,000 on this, then the council and the voters, the citizens of this community should not be told it's only gonna cost $349,000, but it's really gonna cost substantially more. And then there's the whole issue of gifting fuel to a vendor. You know, we give out millions of dollars in road contracts a year, Reith Riley, Walsh County. We don't give anybody, no other vendor do we give free fuel to. So if it was a fair, honest, and legal thing to do, it seems like we would do it to every vendor we do with, instead of just these leave contracts. I'm also concerned that again, now, I heard it was advertised as a pay-as-you-go, that citizens would be expected to pay a portion of their leaf pickup, which again means those people with money will be subsidized, and the people without money who can't afford leaf pickup or service will receive nothing. So, with the county having such severe financial difficulties, again, I question the fairness to subsidize wealthier people at the expense of everyone else. And therefore, I will not make a motion to table it, I'll just let it go.
Okay, so there's not a motion, so we'll just letting it go and see, because again, we're still working on the contract, making sure that everything's gonna be okay on that.
Can I jump in? This is County Auditor Mike Hammond. Why would you guys be tabling it? What was I didn't get the memo on that. Or why was it proposed that you would table it?
Well, we don't have the contract completed yet, and it needs to be
Okay.
approved by the state too, because of the system that was in there. And we want to make sure that everything pretty much.
What do you mean approved by the state?
Because of the way that it would be paid, okay? So we can't pay it until they get the work done. Is that correct?
Oh,
Is there a theory?
Jamie, can you jump in there?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going to
this is
ask
Jamie
Jamie
Woods.
about
Mike,
that.
it
Yeah.
goes to the issue
Because
that
he's
you and I have been
reviewing that.
working.
Wait, go ahead, Jamie, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mike, it goes to the issue that you and I have been reviewing, with the
Yeah,
Board
yeah.
of Accounts. So, out of caution, just decided it would be best not to take any action on the agreement today, Mike. That's why it's being tabled.
All right, do you know, have you gotten any indication from those folks? I mean, they're basically, they came forward with their opinion. You pretty vehemently disagreed with it. I don't know they're not going to come back and go, oh my gosh, Jamie, you got a really good point. I mean, they're not going to agree with us, right? I mean, what are we expecting or?
Mike, who
We
is
think
they?
it's best that we see the formal response from the State Board of Accounts.
Okay,
Mike, who is
that
they?
sounds good.
State Board of
The
Accounts.
State Board of Accounts, Dave.
Okay, so Mr.
So-
Woods, you think the CARES Act might pay for some of this?
No, that's not the
No.
discussion.
Dave, no, the issue was, can you, and this Deb kind of alluded, is it okay for the county commissioners to pay a vendor in advance of services being rendered? And State Board of Accounts said that, that was, they questioned that. And Jamie came back and said, well, statutory, it looks like we could. And my question is, and I'm not being argumentative, I'm just really looking for an answer. do we have a timetable, like when they'll let us know what their final answer is, or?
Yep, so the report of the State Board of Accounts was due no earlier than July 27th.
Okay.
The end of July, so they're usually pretty prompt in replying, so I anticipate we'll probably have it shortly.
Okie dokie. That's all I
Okay.
needed to know. I appreciate it very, very much. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you, Michael, Honorable Auditor and Counselor, for your comments. I have always in the past heard that there is a state statute that states that the Board of Commissioners cannot approve and pay for services until they are rendered, and that we are not allowed to advance money, as again, not only does the LEAP vendor tend to get free fuel, but no other vendor does, it seems to get paid in advance. I think the last time was paid 80% in advance, 6 months before the service even started, which again just seems ludicrous to other vendors. And Mike, to go back to your first questions and comments, I was first told on Friday I'd receive a copy of the contract, and then, and I never did, and then I was notified Friday that because of lingering questions, it was being held up. So I have not even seen the draft of anything. And then also, Mike, you're smart enough to know that if Commissioner Castelli was unable to attend today, there probably would not be 2 votes to pass this.
Well,
So-
my understanding was the contract wasn't even ready, so we weren't gonna be able to have it today anyway, so.
Yeah, so there's probably a few reasons why it is not being voted on today.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do we need to table it, or can we just, ignore it?
It's an option. You can either table it or ignore it. I'm not gonna.
Jamie, what do you think we should do then?
Well, Commissioner Thomas has indicated he's not going to vote to table it, so
Right.
the agenda item will die for lack of a second. You should move on to old business.
Okay, we'll do that then. Thank you very much. Any old business? Seeing none? And any public comments? 3 minutes the limit.
Good morning, Dan Caruso, 305 Compton Street, New Carlisle, Indiana. Good morning, Commissioners, good to see you healthy. A few people here. I am encouraged by the recent outreach of the Commissioners, in particular Commissioner Castelli, to the citizenry of New Carlisle and Olive Township regarding a new comprehensive land use plan, which has not been updated since 2002, and which is in the wishes of Olive Township and Town Council of New Carlisle, which they expressed in statements to the Commissioners. I am, however, discouraged that we're trying to circumvent the process of developing a new land use plan by using the memorandum or resolution system and have just the elected or appointed representatives sitting down behind closed doors and agreeing on what land should be rezoned, how it should be focused, in light of the overwhelming opposition to any rezoning in the New Carlisle Olive Township area. And I encourage the Commissioners here and anyone to please express your concerns about how this is going to occur without any zero public input other than through the elected representatives behind closed doors. The opposition to this is almost 100% in the area. I've canvassed 3 different weekends over in that area with my friends, and I've come up with 2 people who are for this redevelopment over there. And there needs to be public hearings before they come up with any changing things around of what land gets rezoned, who offers what, who permits what. It needs to be publicly heard so everyone gets their voice heard. Thank you, and everybody stay safe.
Thank you. I like your shirt, by the way.
Thank you. We're down one, it's 1-1.
Right, right.
I'd like to thank Mr. Caruso for his comments, and I also find it disappointing to hear that there's backdoor meetings going on. It's my district, and I think it was So one of the commissioners announced in a previous meeting that they've been in negotiations for 2 years with the board, and it's just, and that the goals change. And I said that very politely a few meetings ago, that the goals seem to have changed. But that was, changing goals is a polite way of saying, what is the real truth? Because I think you're lying. Because originally, all this money and effort's been spent was originally on the guise of making a South Shore station. And then it was admitted a few weeks ago that, oh, it's not for that. We don't even know what it's for. But yet we're gonna keep spending money there. And, you know, how many behind the scenes meetings there have been, I don't know. That was mentioned 2 years the other day, but the new board took over in January this year, and right away passed a memorandum of understanding, a resolution telling the county, go, leave us alone and quit picking on us. You know, that if you wanna make a comprehensive plan, make one. Don't, you know, and don't come here and abuse us and neglect us. And I think that's what you're saying now, is you still feel abused and neglected and not listened to. I've received numerous phone calls from New Carlisle complaining, why didn't they get a voting station in their neighborhood, down in New Carlisle? And apparently there's a town council meeting this evening, right? And this IEC is probably gonna come up at the meeting. And, you know, I've heard some constituents say that there's a latest desire to expand the IEC to like the whole region between the town and State Road 2, which means the IEC would actually grow by thousands of acres to the west. And you're nodding your head in affirmative. You've heard these rumors too.
Yes, I have.
And you're not just an informed citizen. You serve on what, the Area Plan Commission?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the St. Joe County Area Plan Commission or the Town Council, Town of New Carlisle?
St. Joe County.
St. Joe County Area Plan Commission. So you're seeing the whole picture. Thank you. And those are your understandings as well. I've heard rumors. A few years ago, there was rumors that Toyota was gonna move out there, and there's gonna be hundreds of jobs. And then Toyota finally announced, no way in heck. We're not gonna move there, where there's no bus line for workers to get there, and move in the middle of nowhere, when there's already an infrastructure in the city. If we would move anywhere, we'd move there. But for right off the bat, we need skilled workers, and there's certainly none in the middle of a cornfield. Some rumors now going around, whoever spreads them, is that maybe there'd be data entry businesses. Now, South Bend has been making a good name for itself as a data entry business, filling up the old Sears buildings, the old Union Station, Ignition Park, with data storage facilities, which is great and capable because of the black fiber network that we have in South Bend in St. Joe County, which was recently ran to the cornfields of New Carlisle at great expense. Millions of dollars of taxpayers' money and millions of dollars of additional federal grants, so that corn could have the internet, high-speed internet. Now, and if by some chance some data storage company does actually want to move into cornfields, but I'm sure the South Bend Redevelopment Commission would offer them much more TIF money because they have more to spend and much better infrastructure in place. That structure in that TIF district in New Carlisle, the IEC area. One, data storage facilities do not generate a lot of jobs other than construction. Because once the machines, the data file servers are running, they're just machines receiving and data in, data out through the dark fiber. And also, if I recall correctly, the state of Indiana exempts them from property taxes on the value of their equipment. Most businesses have to pay a tax on the value of all their capital equipment. If you own trucks, you gotta pay tax on the trucks, desks, computers, whatever you own. But these data storage computer servers, which are worth millions and millions and millions of dollars, are tax exempt in Indiana, to the best of my knowledge. I believe the state passed that back when Mitch Daniels was governor to lure Illinois firms to this state. So to spend millions and millions of dollars on a possible rumor that there might be data storage, which doesn't create jobs or a tax base, again, it's just not selling the product well. And not speaking and listening to the people doesn't sell the product well. This obviously is a bad product, a bad idea, and St. Joe County should focus on the responsibilities it has and let South Bend and Mishawaka, who have brownfields, infrastructure in place, and the TIF money to help businesses grow and expand, let them do that. Thank you.
Okay, any other public comments?
Good morning, Haj Patel, 103 South Esther Street, South Bend, 46617. I want to remind the Board of Commissioners about my public comments on June 16th, which talked about the leaf pickup program and trying to replicate it similar to what the sidewalk program is, sidewalk replacement program in South Bend and Mishawaka, where those cities set aside a set amount of money, and then what they do is they offer opportunities for individuals who want their sidewalks to be replaced, to get a bid and go through that process. My recommendation at that point was to do something similar with the leaf pickup program. But I also have concerns as we look at what the budget is for the county and the shortfall, the projected $15 million budget shortfall moving ahead. And with that, I think we also need to think about, as we're talking about picking up people's leaves, if you live on a river, if you live on a lake, does the county government step up and pay for your insurance, your flood insurance? If you have grass clippings, is that the next step? Is the county going to come and pick up people's grass clippings? So I think we need to be sensible about this and also realize that St. Joseph County is unique around the state and the fact that other counties are not funding a leaf pickup program. So looking at the budget situation, we need to be very careful about how we use our tax dollars moving forward. I also don't think that we should be subsidizing fuel or tipping fees. So those are my public comments. Thank you.
I thank Mr. Patel for his wise comments. I agree, things need to be sensible. And when South Bend and Mishawaka do their sidewalk programs, they certainly, and they pay their vendor, they probably don't have these back-end hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on free fuel and tipping fees. So I bet their programs are very sensible and honest and upfront with the taxpayers and the boards that approve the funding. And I like that you reminded me and others that other counties don't do this. This is something that's just really abnormal here. And I'd further add something else that I thought was kind of important, and it slipped through my mind, but I'm going to come up with it in a second. But until then, I have to say, I can't remember what it was, but it was a good point. I'll come up with it.
Okay, good. Any other public comments?
Yes, I just remembered what the other comment was. And that is, sometimes when we discuss the sleep program, somebody will bring up, well, you know, the county doesn't plow snow where there's no snow. Well, that's not really a fair comparison to the LEAP program, because the county plows snow because we have to protect our right-of-ways of our roads. We have to keep our roads clear so that school buses, working trucks, working people going to doctors, there's roads, it's a road safety issue. Picking up leaves is not a road safety issue, and it shouldn't even be part of the conversation, although some people try to bring it into the conversation as a way to confuse people, from my point of view.
Okay, is there a motion to recess?
Sure, a motion to recess.
Second that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're recessed. Thank you very much. Take care.